I thought no. I think it's gonna be offlane DP, right? Mid storm, Palos on the Pudge. Then you just take the 5 foot. I don't. I mean, there's no way you can play this Pudge as a support because you're not gonna be hooking anything. You can't hook zombies and you can't hook with the broodmothers. Like I mean, like the zombies will interfere and the spiderlings will interfere. I think that trying to play Pudge as a core would be sorry as a support would be pretty hard. We'll see what Execration want to go with. Maybe they can make it work.
Yeah.
It is a good save against the Faceless Void. I still think Winter Wyvern is the hero for Execration if they go for it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Pudge now is either played as the one or the two, because you get, obviously, with the damage block that you get inherently, then you usually see like a Vanguard straight into an Ags, and it's not, it's kind of crazy that for the past God knows how many years since Dota's inception, Pudge has mostly been about the hook, but at the minute it's being played around the rot and the flesh heap. You know, the hook is just a nice addition to the hero in this current iteration. You know, it's more about, like, say, the other three skills take priority here, and yeah. So Pudge, you know, it's going to be easily, it gets a damage block. Coming through again from the flesh heap. It's going to have the Vanguard, more than likely, building into probably a BKB. So the Ags as well, going to be able to clean up those spiderlings if they start to swarm the Pudge. So I really like this pickup here to try and deal with the Broodmother specifically, but it does have a range, like you say, the hook out of the Chronosphere to try and deal with the Faceless Void. You might see the Blink coming out as well a little bit later on to get on top of the Scarith Mage to blow them up. It's one of those heroes that I like to see come out, and which is funny because up until this current is, I absolutely hated the hero. Absolutely despised the hero.
Yes.
Up until...
So I think we all did because we all had that pub game with the Pudge. It's like, don't worry, I'll be here in the forest. I'll hook them when they can't see me.
Yeah.
Then he misses one hook and he's like, all right, I'm going to go mid. You're like, thanks a lot, asshole. You didn't do anything. But yeah, I like the core Pudge, the iteration of the hero as well. I think it's really good. I must say the Skyeth Mage pick is brilliant because I was saying Winter Wyvern a lot, but guess what? If you take Winter Wyvern and you use the heal on when Facebook cross up on Skyeth Mage, like, thank you very much. That's all I needed is for people not to move. So yeah, it does feel like I do think they need to save support. Shadow Demon could be good. Omni Knight. And Winter Wyvern. I feel like it's one of those three that Execrations think is going to look for Lilgun. They're either going to go for their mid here, assuming that this guy with mages are support. What would they want to go with? I think they went with Shadow Fiend, and they had a really good performance for Lilgun. Sanctity just looked really good with that hero. That might be a decent hero. Tiny, we've seen that Aghanims with the Faceless Void look pretty good. TA is not so bad. You're up against Storm Spirit, so the Refraction charges last, but then Death Prophet and Pudge are annoying. But yeah, TA wouldn't be so bad either. We'll see. We'll see what they want to go here. There's a lot of options for Lilgun.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised actually. The Razor was a good banner from Execration. Being able to get the static link and attack outside the Chronosphere when your target has no way to run away from that static link would have been a good move again. The Eye of Storm, great fight potential if you pick up the Ags. I'm seeing a couple of Razors now pick up Ags quicker. So BKB refreshes into an Ags instead of something like an AC or a Shiva's. Prioritizing that building damage coming out as well. So it's
another thing is because I think the mana cost from Refresh Orb went from increased, and BKB has a mana cost, so you need the stats from the Aghanim Scepter to sustain the refresh double combo. Whereas before, like I said, AC it doesn't give you any intelligence, so that was a problem. Who are they going to go with? They go with the Void Spirit. All right, that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't feel like the Void Spirit is going to make or break the draft. I feel like it's all going to be on the Broodmother. It's like Broodmother, Faceless Void. Like those are the heroes that I'm going to. Whatever they picked mid, I think I would have been okay with it. Void Spirit's fine. Needs to be a little bit worried about the amount of lockdown the enemy team has, but other than that, should be okay for him.
How does the Storm Spirit versus Void Spirit matchup go? Is that does it come down to player skill, or is there an innate advantage there? Because obviously the Void Spirit being able to put out the Resonant Pulse, blocking the magic damage, does that benefit in this matchup, or is it just down to how the players play it?
We're gonna have to get back to you on this thing because I thought Resonant Pulse only blocks physical damage. I thought that was.
Yeah, I'm getting confused. I only woke up less than an hour ago. It's Ember Spirit's Flame Guard that blocks magical damage, and it's physical damage on the Resonant Pulse.
Alright, so this is going to be the carry Pudge. It's going to be Storm. in the mid lane, and Tina is going to be the offlane Dawnbreaker. I was wrong, and Vincenzo is going to be the Death Prophet. That's a position 5. You were right, by the way, Rob.
Yeah.
You're right on the Death Prophet position 5. I find that a little surprising, but all right, interesting that they're putting the Dawnbreaker. It is a decent-ish counter to the Chronosphere. You Chrono, Dawnbreaker puts the heal out with the Soul Guardian, and she also lands with the stun, which is nice. Very tanky group with both the Dawnbreaker as well as the Pudge. Still, I'm all in on this Lilgun draft. I think it's really good. I think it's just a fantastic draft to have. As for the matchup, I imagine Voice Spirit can do a decent amount of harass. Both heroes can harass each other, but once it's Voice Spirit's burst damage seems a little bit more impressive once he reaches level 6, but if he's out of charges, he goes to the Storm Spirit. So, player matchup, if I had to pick one that favors, I'd give Storm Spirit. I'm not much of a mid player myself, so I'll have to be fair in that regard.
Yeah, I'm just thinking as well, there's a lot of I want to call it the Spirit Bomb potential coming in from the Storm Spirit, that you can dive in and then you can immediately get the Solar Guardian drop wherever the Storm Spirit lands. So he is a delivery system in the sense that, he's that heat-seeking missile, he's the laser that points it, and then the Solar Guardian is going to come in afterwards. But it also means that it's something that can be dropped on the Chronosphere to keep your team, if you're not caught out in that, to keep your teammates alive.
It's great. I mean, global presence is such a strong thing, right? Like, it's a global heal followed by a nuke. The damage that follows by a stun. There's so much value to it. It's an amazing ability to have on the Dawnbreaker. The hero did get other nerfs though, and it is a core Dawnbreaker, which means that you're not as willing to use your Solar Guard to save people, because you might, like, if it's 1 versus 5, you're not going to throw it to save someone then die yourself.
Yeah.
So Tina's going to be like, do I really want a Solar Guardian on this guy? Maybe the fool deserves to die. Maybe it's his fault. So yeah. I'll be excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, like I said, Kishka as well as the Faceless Void are a really good combo. We saw yesterday the Faceless Void. I forget who played it. Was it Lilgun on the Faceless Void yesterday?
All right, let me go. I'll check the numbers for you. No, Lilgun did not play it, but I believe it was played by, in the very last season, I think Army Genius picked it in game 1.
Right.
So we only saw it once yesterday, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just thinking more that we saw the Faceless Voids just going for the Hand of Midas. He relying on the rest of his team to create space. As Ace is going to be coming in with the decay stacks here, Vincenzo's going to be taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the chase down onto 4-2-3. 4-2-3 just has to back himself away from this. He does pick up the bounty rune though, as he gets himself away.
So it's going to be the 2-for-2 trade, so nothing crazy in terms of the bounty runes spawn. By the way, this Pudge pick is really smart by the Lilgun. Because the what's it called? The Flesh Heap reduces damage by, it's not much, it's 26.
Yeah.
But so it's really good against reducing multiple fast instances of low damage, which is exactly what Broodmother does. So it's a very clever pick, this Pudge. Like, it wouldn't be, if you're up against a Sven, you'd be like, oh, Pudge is really bad in that situation because you take like 300 damage versus 26. But up against Broodmother spiders, they barely tickle you, but they're not going to be able to do that much damage to chew through it. Combine that with like any source of other damage block or some armor, and this Pudge is going to be kind of unkillable for the Broodmother. It's very clever. I like what they. The more I think about this Pudge pick, the more I like it.
Yeah, like I say, if you get swarmed, like say, the Rot and the Flesh Heap should deal with the Spiderlings, so you're not going to be taken down that easy. And like I say, usually you are going to be getting the Vanguard in there somewhere as well, so you're going to have that extra damage block coming through there as well, and it's just. Again, the Broodmother can't run away. If you get the Dismember off on the Spider, the giant spiders, you can't use her webs. So there's a lot of nuke damage potential that comes out there as well. And I have to say, this skin here, by 11, looks way better than the skin we saw yesterday. That one was just straight up creepy.
Oh yeah, the one with like bugs crawling all over, like the spiders crawling all over her body. It's like, oh good
with
god,
the Black Widow skin with like the the really thin legs, and it's just
yes. I mean, that was the whole thing was terrible. Bottom lane should be going a little bit better for Lilgun. You do have Undying against 2 strength heroes, so we'll see what Shanks and Tino can do against that. I mean, this hero is absolutely bonkers, the Undying, and you're up against the 2 strength. I should be having a good time. Death Prophet, though, she is suffering. Same thing with the Storm Spirit. So, Sanctity, well, the mid lane will be interesting to watch. Sanctity versus Bob. Bob had a great performance in game 1 yesterday, but game 2 on the puck, he did not look comfortable at all.
It was not great, Bob, and hopefully he's looking to make it up today. And I'm just going to be saying that all day. He doesn't get dragged in by the Remnant now as well, so he is going to be able to just walk himself around this. One of the creeps probably picks that up. And yeah, Sanctity, though, we have a look. He's only one last hit ahead, so it's not like a massive difference. The bottle comes out now as well for both sides, so they are going to be able to sustain when those water runes start to come out. In fact, the Vortex now as well into that Remnant, so it is going to be a lot of damage onto Sanctity, and Sanctity just needs to move himself back. The Resonant Pulse will be wearing off. But the water runes are up. I'm surprised there's been no rotations, although I suppose that's more of a minute 4 thing where you get a rotation by the support to take one of the water runes while the mid secures the other one. And yeah, so it's just going to be, it looks like, in fact, Bob wants to get aggressive here now as well. Drops another Remnant, so Sanctity going to be taking a lot of damage here. He doesn't have the Dissimulate to get himself away from this. Just has to drop a Remnant and get himself to the water rune, because that was a lot of punishment that Bob was putting out.
Yeah, this is really, like, whoever likes watching mid lane matchups, this is really cool. Watching how these two play on some of the most popular mids out there, both the Voice Spirit and the Storm Spirit. And yeah, I mean, I love the way he drops the Remnant. He's like, yeah, you want to chase after me? I'm gonna go for it. But will we actually see a kill? I feel like you can't tear your eyes away from it. Sanctity's back to low health. Bob is at half health. You're like, do I want to look at other lanes? I want to see what's happening. But I'm worried that somebody is gonna kill the other. However, Bob is having a little bit of that right-click advantage thanks to the range. You can just hit him, he can't hit you. He has to use a spell, so it is helping Bob just a little bit right now. And oh dear, Sanctity.
Yeah, bottom lane though, it looks like they're going to be able to get the kill onto. It was split. They're on Ace between Shanks and Tino. But does 423 want to go for it? Because I mean, Shanks isn't looking super healthy here, and Tino's out of mana. If you can get. He does have 1 point into the bash as well here on 423, but he's getting pretty darn low himself. Needs to be careful about a rolling boulder in and maybe losing his life here, which does come through. The rolling boulder into the stun, into that Starbreaker. Really good combination between the two heroes. And just thinking about as well, the Dawnbreaker is going to be another hero that deals with the Broodmother. You know, the Celestial Hammer burning down the Spiderlings into that Starbreaker as well. You can clean up the Spider Army coming through that. Speaking about the Spider Army, the one-man Spider Army, 11 gets the kill onto Vincenzo. He just couldn't get himself away from the slow when that Silken Bowler came out.
I think Vincenzo's just been suffering. I mean, Kishka's been zoning him out the lane the whole time. But overall, I'm impressed with how bottom was going. Tino and Shanks they should not be winning it, to be completely fair. Like they're overperforming. The fact that they're doing this well against Undying as 2 strength, that's just insane. Getting 2 kills just so far. So well played by them.
Yeah.
In the meantime, by the way, check out the last hits on Void Spirit. 4-2-3. He's only got 10 in 4.5 minutes. This is like when I try to play carry.
Yeah, it's not. Look, I mean, he's gone for the double Wraith Band as well. So more armor, more agility, so more damage coming out. But it just means that's going to slow down the power treads into the. It's going to be straight into the Maelstrom as Kishka gets the kill onto Palos. How did he go down there?
This is turning a little bit scary for Execration of the top lane. Like, this is exactly what you don't want to happen. We've seen this before. You can suffer a little bit. Oh, mid lane Sanctity taking some hits.
Yeah, but he again does have the 3 points now into the Resonant Pulse. One into the Dissimulate if he needs a panic button to get away from that. Just needs to be careful about the Remnants being dropped on him. Bottom lane though, Tino's going to get really down low. Tombstone's going to be dropped as well. Is there anything to slow that Tino down? It looks like decay in 2 seconds. But Ace, yeah, not going to throw it out. And 4-2-3 being able to farm underneath the tower, you know, it means that he's not being contested. In fact, Shanks isn't going to go back trying to clean up the Tombstone. And Palos, you can see that the Broodmother's just pulling the wave in. You know, just trying to push the lane, I guess, into the tower, underneath the tower here, so that he can get aggressive onto Palos. But Palos just has to stand his ground.
I mean, it's a Grandmaster Broodmother, right? Like, the guy knows exactly what needs to be done. And I like that they're kind of not ignoring Palos, but they're just like, oh, we'll just kill Vincenzo a billion times and have him suffer. And one other thing is that it doesn't really matter if 4-2-3 has a bad lane. He shouldn't have a bad lane, quite frankly, with Undying. But if he does, we've seen how Faceless Void just recovers. You know, you go ahead and minus, you go jungle, you land a good Chrono Spirit, it literally doesn't matter that much compared to other carries where it's like, I gotta have a good laning stage or my game is done. You know, like, my game is over.
Yeah, Sanctity. There was a rotation from Shanks, but Sanctity not gone on here. And it just looks like there is going to be the rotation coming in from Ace now as well. But either side of bottom lane, just going to be a bit of a right click off here between Tino and 4-2-3. But yeah, no, neither side going for that gank rotation in the mid lane. Actually, when the support's rotated in, Vincenzo once again going to be taking a lot of punishment here in this top lane. You can see that Kishka is spamming out these spells. In fact, Vincenzo's still going to go around even after the stick charges. Wasn't enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, and Vincenzo, he wins for this infused raindrop as a position 5 with no gold. Like, by the way, he's level 2 and about almost 7 minutes. That's pretty unfortunate for him. Oh, Bob.
Bob gets silenced up and killed up. The Resonant Pulse doing the job there. Sanctity finishing it. Does he want to go even further? Yeah, it's good with the rotation from Kishka. Palos is here, though. So he's just completely leaving the lane. I mean, we're not even 7 minutes in here. And the Broodmother's got a tower, got a free lane. And Palos, he's looking for the rotations, looking to see what impact he can have. So at the minute, even without the Spiderlings, that Broodmother just forcing Palos out of the lane.
And by the way, Broodmother's going for the fast Orchid, which is just the best thing you can get in this game. Jump on the Storm Spirit and kill him every time with that.
Yeah, and what's it? So the purchase
I know,
on
right?
level 5.
It's a tough situation. It's like a very tough situation for Execration to be in. I mean, it was an early pick Broodmother, right? So they saw it coming. It's tough to deal with this here with a really good player. Oh, Bob?
Bob needs to be careful. Yeah, there is going to be the Ancient Seal into the chase down from the Broodmother with the Spawn Spiderlings coming out. And that's going to be another death on Bob. That's not great, Bob. And can you tell? Yes, I have been watching Mad Men. So that line just sticks with me.
I always thought it was. I don't know why. I always thought that was from like Overwatch, you know, where there's a girl who summons Bob. There's
an Ash that says "Do something, Bob," and then like she's a cowboy and big robot Bob that chases people down. And
so I was like, I thought that was where the reference was from. That's where I went to sleep thinking that's where the reference was from. Please don't let me be wrong. You know, just be like, yes, that's where it's from. That's all it needs. Meanwhile, though. 11's just dominating top lane, man. 11's just it's his lane. It's his lane. Like, don't come here. This is his side of the map now.
Yeah, he's just having fun with it. And like you say, he's not even going for the power treads first. Like you say, it is going to be the quick orchid. And what's that? 313.50. So it's 1650. He's not too far away from it at all with the amount that he's farming up.
Yeah, that's like 1,200 gold, and he's got it. Oh, here we go, smoke.
I like this as well. The Lance of Pursuit. This is, we talked about it yesterday, but one of those, instances that this is a good with the Spiderlings. They're going to spot out this gank rotation in now. And 11, he's trying to get himself away with the webs. He's just trying to break some ankles now. He's going to be dragged back. The Solar Guardian comes in. 11, though, can get himself away from this. Trying to get down to the low ground, but there's going to be a really nice rotation in from Sanctity there as well. Kishka, though, gets a kill onto Bob. Can they go any further onto this? Vincenzo trying to run himself away from this. Just going to be chased down by 3 heroes to the rolling boulder. It does get shanked out for the chase now. Onto Tino. Tino just has to run himself away.
Oh, this is... I mean, I know it says 2k ahead for Lilgun, but it might as well be 6k with the way things are going. Oh, alright, Shank's going in. He might get Kishka here.
Yeah, Kishka's going to drag back by the Dismember, but we have 11 coming in to ruin this now as well. Shank's going to be taking a lot of damage by the Spawn Spiderlings. He will be taken down. And now Bob comes in, trying to do what he can, but he has to be careful. The drag back comes out onto Ace. Do they want to try and turn this one around? 11's out of mana, so they're not going to be going on to this. Ace, the drag back comes onto the Remnant from the Storm, but the Bob, he just needs to carry on chasing. He has the mana to get in range, and Ace will be taken down.
That was so needed for Execration. A little, they only got support kills and they're still significantly far behind. You look at the net worth, the top 3 all on the Lilgun side, but that was needed to stem the bleeding. 11 gets a couple more kills and it might just as well be game over. He is very close to the Orchid, by the way, 150 gold away, so should have by 11. 11 minutes should be delivered to him. At that point, if you're Bob, you need to be a madman to play this game, basically.
I mean, yeah, you look at Bob, he's going for a Falcon's Blade, which on a Storm Spirit, yes, the mana's nice, the extra survivability coming through from the Fluffy Hat, so there is, it's just one of those heroes you don't really ever expect to see on a Storm Spirit, I don't think.
I mean, the thing is, Falcon Blade is so much better than it used to give you, like 10 damage, 150 health, 1.2 mana, now it's like 200 health. Like, it's been buffed significantly since it came out, so it's in a really good spot. It's like you said, though, is it the best item for the Storm Spirit? The fact of the matter is, I don't think you're going to be able to like get a Yule Scepter within the next 3 minutes. So it's like, let me get something that gives me a little bit of useful stats. Either way, he cannot go top. Like going top, either they go as 5-man or they're going to be risking their life every time they go up there. It's very scary for them.
Oh, they're going to be able to get the jump on Tino here as well. XctN was waiting in an invis rune, and the chase comes on, and Ace gets the kill with the decay. And the flying in now of the Orchid, which is going to make it even easier to get a chase down. And meanwhile, this is going on. 4-2-3 is still farming. He's got that Chronos 3. He's working towards the Maelstrom again. It's just, like I say, 11 taking all of the pressure off this Faceless Void, so he can just sit and farm, because he was being pressured in that early part of the laning stage. And at the minute, everybody's too busy trying to deal with this Broodmother to even think about the Faceless Void. The drag back comes out now as well. Solar Guardian's going to be there. The Rolling Ball, they get the kill into Sanctity. Chase comes out, they pop Bob, and now, 11! He's going to go down! That's a decent amount of gold being given over to Palos now as well.
Huge win for Execration, bringing down two cores like that, especially the biggest score in the game with 11. 43 shows up, but he's like, you know, by the time he shows up, his 2 allies are dead. He's like, I don't really need to use a Chronosphere. And so, unfortunate for Lilgun, but really good kills for Execration. Much needed. Vincenzo, you see at that level 6, are they really going to go dive for him?
They're diving.
All right, those supports, man. These guys, they are not. I mean, look at Ace. He's like, he's this giant behemoth. He's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna go in. By the way, very smart move by Ace to max out Soul Rip in this game. Instead of Tombstone or Decay, this is a bit unusual, but because you always have Spiderlings around you, it's 450 health nuke and heal every 6 seconds, which is absolutely bonkers. The reason it's usually not worth maxing out is because you rarely have the units around. You rarely have 10 units around if you fight in the river or something like that. So he's like, oh no, we're always going to have 10 units because we always have this army fighters. It's a nice adjustment that he's made.
Okay. And Palos as well, looking at his farm, he's completely skipped over the Vanguard. He says he just, he needs that Hagnum Scepter out ASAP to try and help deal with the Spirelings and just try and accelerate his farm, because that's another thing as well. You know, when you do get that Ags, the damage goes up, the radius goes up, so there is a farming tool potential on this Aghanim Scepter as well, that he might then go back for the Vanguard afterwards, or maybe just straight into an Eternal Shroud, because he does have the cloak already.
Yeah, that's also an interesting adjustment that he went for. Like, the heroes are very much like, all the players are just, you look at Vincenzo and the Death Prophet, he's got 2 fluffy hats. He's like, I just need health. I just need health. And yeah, the Pudge going for it, that means that with like Rot, it takes you what, like maybe 3-4 seconds to get rid of all the Spiderlings. That's a big problem for Broodmother, because you really rely on them to do damage. And we even saw when they were fighting their side, they tried to go for Bob, he put on his Rot, they just disappeared in 2 seconds. Speaking of disappearing, is Tino going to be okay?
I'm just thinking, Tino doesn't even want to show. He's just going to go straight for the TP. Do they have anything to interrupt this? They do. They have the pullback. And 11 gets himself back on the board with another kill. And this is going to be a tier 2. They have the fortification, but I mean, really, what can Execration do to slow this down? It's just...
I mean, they should use a fortification anyway, right? Just because that's the new mechanic. It refreshes when it... Yeah, they definitely should use it. By the way, it's Lilgun, the Tombstone, the Undying plus the Broodmother makes it very hard to fight. You know, you go in, there's a web, there's a Tombstone, there's zombies, spiders. It's quite risky for Execration to go into unless they have 5 people. Oh, big jump here.
He's going to make the dive in Bob now as well, but he might be silenced for the Orchid after that remnant where the dragback wears off, and they get the kill onto 11 again. He gives up about 500 gold. The Rolling Boulder comes in, though, onto Ace. Ace being pushed back. There's going to be the drain coming through from Vincenzo now as well. Maybe a little bit of revenge coming out here, and Vincenzo picks up the kill against Ace.
Very good move by Execration. I mean, and this is what we say, they have to keep doing that. If you go top, you don't go, Tino by yourself. You go the entire team. Everyone's holding hands. Tino shows up with the ultimate. That's the only way you can deal with 11 until your heroes have a bit more levels. Storm Spirit, Bob's going for the BKB. It's a little bit of an expensive option to go for the BKB. Oh wait, been playing though.
Oh. Are they going to try and go for this now as well? Sanctity's going to try and get that Astral Step out. The hammer comes in. There's going to be... No, Yules! No dismember just yet. He's going to be silenced by the Ancient Seal now as well, the Pudge, but he's still going to be able to secure that kill. Sanctity will go down here. A really nice pickup. This is just what they need to do. Yeah, like you say, they need to hold their hands. They need to just find the pickoffs where they can. Find space for Palos to be getting this farm. In fact, he's not too far off the Aghanim Scepter now as well. This might be enough. Yeah, this definitely will be enough, this Ancient Stack, to help complete...
Oh, sure. Hello?
Hello.
Oh yeah, sorry. Alright, well, yeah, one thing I want to go about is the BKB for Bob. I do like the safety measure, but the problem with going BKB is that whenever now 11 jumps on him, he's going to have to think, do I want to BKB? or don't. But if you have a Yule Scepter, you can always just use it. There's no, it doesn't get worse when you use it. It doesn't have a long cooldown, so it's a safe measure. And I'm glad that he's going for a defensive item. But I wonder if like it's such a risk, right? When you're playing with the Stormspear, like, do I use it now? Oh, is he really? Like, is he gonna be able to kill me? Okay, I have to use it. Then it's down for 90 seconds. Whereas Yule's does not have that issue. So it sucks for Bob to be forced in that situation.
I was gonna say, after the BKB comes out, do you think he goes back for your Yules or a Lincolns or something like that to help give him that extra bit of reliability that he doesn't have to pop the BKB every time?
They're just on the face. I think I'd like to see one of those two. There's more so the Yules, just so that it's just a good item overall for the Storm Spirit in this game. We'll have to wait and see. If, Lincolns wouldn't be so bad either, but you probably a lot of times we're seeing it's going to be the Broodmother plus the what's it called, the Skywrath Mage as well showing up. So
yeah,
it's a little bit tough for him. I think that Yule Scepter, you can just dodge everything. It's like there's not, you can just go avoid everything if you need it.
Okay, and I mean, how far he's still ways off the BKB anyway, so it's still probably going to take him another 3 or 4 minutes to completely finish up the gold with the rate that Lilgun are hunting at the minute.
In the meantime, Tino's also going for the BKB on the Dawnbreaker. We do have that Aghanim Scepter on Punch is going to have to... We'll see how much work he can do in that first fight. It needs to definitely put in work, Like, he needs to be able to do something with it. I'm excited to see what Lilgun's going to do with his Aegis right now. It is Smoke Up. They want to find someone. They definitely want to try to take more control of the map. I think they expect it to be a little bit ahead at this stage of the game. It's fine if they're not, because they do have the Faceless Void, but they expected more from this Broodmother pick.
Yeah, Vincenzo, I think he just showed here. There is going to be the Remnant, but it doesn't drag to anyone. Really nice ward there that did do a little bit of saving coming through here from the side of Execration. And yeah, Void Spirit, he just wants to go for the Ags of his own. There is going to be a Tombstone drop, but again, this ward sees, so Vincenzo just backs himself away. Palos just backs himself away. They want to be playing it safe, They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to be caught out and killed off here, because the Chronosphere is available. There was a double damage rune on the Faceless Void as well.
So just take it safe. 4-3 is going to have that BKB. Once he has it, it becomes way harder to deal with him. And overall, Lilgun, they are in control of their game, but it's tenuous. Oh, Vincenzo, yeah, his hold on life is tenuous right now.
Yeah, the time walk comes forward. Just one bash, that's all he needs here, 4-2-3. And this will go really, really bad for Vincenzo, but it looks like he wasn't able to get it. So that's what you get when you don't buy the Battle Pass Arcana. You just don't get the bashes. Now the silence comes in from the Ancient Seal here. Are they going to be able to right-click him down? The bash does come through eventually, and Kishka helps find that kill there onto Vincenzo.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's like the Precision 5, he's pushed out the lane quite a bit, and he's okay with that, so it's alright. You're wasting time. Wasting time for Aegis is the most important thing they can do right now. However, I'm also wondering if Lilgun is sort of really committed to fighting at the moment. Bob, is he going to be okay? No, going there.
Have to wait and see. Yeah, he is going to be silenced up, chased down by the Spiderlings now as well. There is a Chronosphere available and close. If that's what they want to go for, they might do now as well. The Solar Guardian, was that cancelled? It was cancelled in the mid lane, so there is going to be the gank coming through here. Meanwhile, Kishka goes down in the mid lane. Shank's going to be taken now as well as 3 heroes just push down the mid. But this is going to be what? Maybe, no, Sanctity TP's in, so Execration might not even be able to get this. They're not going to be able to put pressure onto the tier 1. In fact, have we seen an exorcism from Vincenzo yet this game? I don't think we have.
No. I don't think we have either. By the way, beautiful move by Kishka. He sees the Solar Guardian comes out. He risks his life to get the Ancient Seal on Tino. He's like, I don't care. Take me instead, bro. And he does lose his life, but he does save the 11 in the top lane. So that's such a heads-up play. It doesn't show on your KDA or anything later, but it is really impressive how Kishka threw his life for his team just then. So well played by him.
Yeah, and Execration. Go on.
I was getting close. Oh, he looks like he's not going to go. He's going to go for the Kaya after. He could go for the Kaya Sanj. You do get some stats resistance, some HP, so it would help against the Orchid. Not the defensive option I imagined, though.
Yeah, God, he's going to be found again. Again, no BKB, so he just gets immediately blown up. The sound's coming out from the Orchid and just manhandled by 11.
Bob is 1-6 in this game, and this BKB rush, it's been painful for him. Yules would have been a little bit cheaper, but in the end, doesn't matter. He's gonna have a BKB next. Hopefully, that's gonna give him what he needs.
Oh.
4-3. Vincenzo's fast, but dude, yeah, she got a speed nerf, but Exo gives you passive, light movement speed. You're still pretty damn fast,
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they might be able to find out onto the Earth Spirit now as well. Yule Scepter comes out just to get the catch, and Earth Spirit probably not going to be able to get himself away from this one as well. You can see, yeah, the great position coming out from the Void, just sitting in front of him, the Sanctity. So the rolling ball that comes out, and he gets absolutely nowhere. And now, 11. Vincenzo just moves himself away at the right time. I don't think they have vision on the Hagger, and they don't. So that was just his literal spidey sense tingling there. That Vincenzo just walking away from the danger.
Yeah, in the meantime, the Aegis is about to expire in about 1 minute, which means that are they going to be able to do something with that or no ace? He spots Palos near him, but he's like, all right, I don't want to be near that. So yeah, Lilgun, it looks like it's just going to be more of a map control farming Aegis than oh, we're gotta go high ground. I expect if they got a team wipe, they would have thought about it, but in this situation, you're okay with just growing your net worth advantage. They're significantly in a better spot now than they were before they had the Aegis.
Yeah, Pudge picks up the hood as well. You know what's crazy? That even though how well Lilgun are doing, that too, even though how well Lilgun are doing, it's only a 2k net worth lead here for Lilgun.
Yeah, it's not much. I mean, they were 2k at like what 7-8 minutes. So the Execration, maybe I've sounded a bit harsh, but they've been actually playing this really well. Like the sport's dying, the bomb lane, making space. They've been playing it really well. Despite that, the map is slightly shrinking. They don't have an outpost. The support levels I think are a little bit lower. I'm gonna have to compare for a second, but they are suffering a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's like not a death. It's not like their back's broken anyway. They can definitely win this.
Yeah, and taking a look at the net worth difference, I think I mean everyone's pretty even. It's not like there's a massive separation between any of the cores between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean you could say slightly it's just Oh, here we go, Shanks
might be able to get the grab. Yeah, they can't get the hook out there as well because of all the spiralings around him.
I mean, the only one is 11. 11's significantly ahead of Tino. That's the whole advantage right there. Everyone else is, like you said, pretty on par with their counterpart with the other team.
Yeah, and Tino. I mean, Tino has the BKB. He's got pretty much. It's like a Slardar, right? You need a Blink Dagger and a BKB on a Slardar to be effective. You need a BKB really on the Dawnbreaker, and that's when you hit. I don't want to say peak effectiveness, but that's where you kind of hit most of your effectiveness.
Oh, here we go.
Palos, and again, he gets that blink in, so he's going to be able to get the Dismember off now as well, but the Insatiable Hunger comes out with the BKB here now, 11. 11 going to be doing a lot of damage. He gets all of his health back now. They're going to be able to go into Vincenzo, but if that's the worst thing to come out of this, again, I know Execration got the jump. Oh, Yule Scepter. Pudge, Palos is going to be dragged back into this Remnant now as well, but the dive comes through. They might be able to take down Ace. They will be able to take down Ace. And yeah, so showing off the Blink Dagger. Palos, it's going to be the whip coming through now. Do they want to drop the Chronosphere onto this? They don't. It's just going to be the triple silence.
Oh, by the way, you were mentioning how we haven't seen an Exo. We also haven't seen a Chronosphere the whole game, right? That was like the first Exo I saw. No, we haven't seen a single Chronosphere, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, there was one at the top on the Storm and the Earth Spirit.
Oh yeah! All right. You're right. Okay, my bad. Yeah, but other than that, he's definitely been holding on to it.
Yeah,
he's definitely not throwing it willy nilly.
Because he wants to catch all 9 players out.
All 9 heroes, right? Yeah. The perfect Chrono,
The literal 10 out of 10 Chronosphere.
Is the game paused? No. He just hit us all with the Chronosphere. He's the only one playing Dota for the next 5 seconds. It is. Let's see. It's all right. 4K advantage is not too bad for Execration here. It's interesting that Aghanim Scepter is coming out on Tino. This is not the usual item build that you see on a core Dawnbreaker. You don't see this. It's a very much a support item here. What it does is that it gives you 6 seconds of your ultimate. You can move it, you heal more, and you provide 60% evasion to people inside, the allies inside the circle. So it's a very much anti-Chronosphere item, basically. It's interesting to see that Tino's going to go for that in this situation.
Yeah, I was going to say that if you get that up, you literally outlast the entire Chronosphere while you're in the air, right? Like, you can, and then you drop after, so, oh, they might be able to make a move on to Vincenzo here now as well. Faceless Void's going to be silenced, the back lines, dive comes in, they're going to try and take down the Scarlet Mage, but the Chronosphere is going to be dropped. They only catch out onto the Earth Spirit now as well, and he catches two of his team members. That is going to be a really not great Chronosphere now as well. Shank's trying to do what he can, but a really good rotation, and the Magnetize has already been used. Shank's trying to get himself away, but the drive back onto Vincenzo, so Vincenzo might go down here to the Void Spirit. Meanwhile, Tino's trying to get himself away. The Pudge is already there, so the chase comes out now, and it looks like he might be able to get himself away with the Celestial Hammer. Meanwhile, Vincenzo keeping himself alive with the Drain, but back to Tino. They are going to be able to get the kill with the Spawn Spiderlings.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, that Solar Guard, just what we talked about, he lands a pretty good chrono. It kind of hurts his allies because they're all surrounded, but in the end, like, it wasn't enough. The Solar Guard, it did work in that fight. It did insane amounts of work, but just not enough. Like, all that heal, all that extra evasion wasn't enough for his team. They are a little bit further behind, and you just feel that the experience at disadvantage, the map control that they don't have, has been hurting the Execration. They're not suited to play from this far behind against a Faceless Void.
No, and yeah, you can see that immediately Lilgun, they just move themselves into the Roach Pit. They want this second Aegis. They time this absolutely perfectly here. They're going to be able to get the shard out as well. Faceless Void already has his shard.
The free jump in, jump out.
Oh, no, they pass it over. Okay, it's going to be the Void Spirit. Okay, so yeah, you get the Aether Remnant change, which doesn't... It still does the damage to the creeps, but it doesn't pull the creeps in. It'll still pull a hero in on that, the latest Aether Remnant change.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, honestly, giving it to Undyne, it's a little trolly. You know, it's fun, but you're not going to be able to get it. Although, in the meantime, who's going to fall here?
They do get the kill onto Vincenzo now as well. There's going to be the dive in though. Can they take down Sanctity? A really nice Starbreaker. And it looks like they might be able to get the kill onto the Void Spirit. Void Spirit's going to go down, but 4-2-3. He wants revenge. That Chronosphere is still 34 seconds away. So Tino, he's going to be hooked out of danger. But the Spiderlings silenced up. Oh, he'd already used the BKB. Oh, if it had just kept running, maybe thrown out the Celestial Hammer.
And another 3-for-1 trade. Another one favoring Lilgun. Lilgun, they might be starting to think, alright guys, it's... we've had our fun. Let's start to try to end this game and put top lane is pushing in. They're going to be pushing mid as well with 11 here. It does feel like Execration is going to have real trouble. Is sort of holding off this push. One nice thing is that you do have the Pudge on your side. When you're behind, you always want to have this one hero who has this ability, like with Wyvern's ultimate, Black Hole, Reverse Polarize, something like that. And Pudge with the hook is one of those heroes. You catch a support, turn it to 5 versus 4, just then you can take a fight. However, you're up against Broodmother Spiderlings and zombies, which I said you can hook these guys, and that's just the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, and like you say, I mean, they have the Aegis now. They have that kind of confidence. They're even getting a Paladin Sword on the Faceless Void, so this might be the time where they think, we've hit a decent power spike. If we can get a couple more pickoffs, we can push this down the mid lane or push it down the top lane. There is going to be a smoke rolling bottom, though. It connects onto the Scarlet Mage, and Scarlet Mage going to be dragged back. Did they get the kill onto him now as well? He's going to be taken down. Sanctity trying to do what he can to help his team members now as well. Vincenzo might not get himself away from this. Silken Bowler, 4-2-3. Time Dilation comes up. Vincenzo will go down. More Spiderlings. Bob pops that BKB, but there is a Chronosphere available if they want to go for it here now as well. 4-2-3 is close. They're keeping an eye on Bob. Bob's just getting himself around. Where's that TP? Do they catch him out with the Chronosphere? They don't go blind with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it when I'm not sure. And it's fine. I mean, he still has 2 minutes and a half of the Aegis, so they don't really need to go high ground until they're like confident with their choices. So it's all right. I mean, in the end, it's what? It's a support for support trade. And neither side really walks away with a massive victory. It was a 4-man smoke by Lilgun. Sorry, by Execration.
Yeah, and it even forced
their logos are tripping me, man. They're a little bit similar. Yeah, that's like I don't like a dude. Like whether they have some sort of dude face. That's about it. So it's tripping me a little bit here. In the meantime, Faceless Void is going to go for the MKB. You kind of have to. Dawnbreaker's got the Aghanim Scepter, which means that you're basically doing no damage once she's ulting. So you have to go for it. 60%, losing 60% of your damage, just it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's like I might as well go for it, get something out of it. However, he does have Mullen here, which here we go, Palos.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get
That's
a really
bold.
nice jump on, and the tombstone gets dropped as well. There is going to be Solar Guardian coming in here now on Oswald Palace, but Chronosphere is going to be committed. It comes out just afterwards now as well, so 4-2-3. He's going to be able to put the bashes out, and you can just see that Palos was just far enough away that he was able to get damage by the Broodmother. They might be able to get the kill to 4-2-3. Backline, so Bob is chasing heroes down. It looks like Tino's going to get really down low. They get the kill. Vincenzo's going to go down as well, but Kishka, he's fallen now. The Stormspirit gets a drive back onto Sanctity. Sanctity might go down as 4-2-3. Claims the kill onto Tino, and he wants to go even further on Palos. Going to be chased down here by the Broodmother.
Oh man, dude, again the Solar Guardian doing so much to keep the team alive, but it is not enough. Like do you see that Palos? He was being hit. He didn't even lose health. He was like basically healing though. Well, he was healing because Solar Guardian, but if despite all that damage, and this is why 43 he feels like I have to get MKB. There's no way I can kill Palos. Palos is down for 50 seconds. Lilgun, they're not full on resources. You know, all their heroes are pretty low in mana. 2 of them are dead. We'll see if they want to push this issue. Age is 50 seconds. It might be a little bit risky to go high ground.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, 11's just like I say, he's got the what he's got his drag back now, and he might be able to get out. He pops the BKB. Does he do anything with this though? Here, Bob. Yeah, no, they have the damage. They kill off the Broodmother.
Interesting.
The Brood's BKB was still on cooldown for about 20 seconds as that jump came in.
A little bit bold in that situation there, but it pays off for Execration. And yeah, Execration, they're doing a lot, man, this game. I mean, like, they are in a very tough spot, and they are falling a little bit behind, but the fact that they just keep finding these pickoffs, they keep, like, making these moves. These guys are playing to win. And, you know, that's obvious to say. Every team's playing to win, but they're really trying every trick in the book to come back in this game, and it's very impressive to watch.
Yeah, and we'll see what else they're going to be able to do here. I mean, you can see Ace, Sanctity, and Kishka moving around. 43 as well. He's got the MKB now for Faceless Void, going back for a Skadi. Chronosphere is going to be up in 19 seconds as well, so this might be another good timing as the Brood comes back alive as well, whether you might try and take a team fight, maybe get a win. And again, if they can take down 3 or 4 heroes, this might be where they, even without the Aegis, look to push down onto the high ground.
By the way, Kaya Sanj finished on the Storm Spirit. Not sure he's going to go for next, but he does feel like, alright, this is the item I want to go. Does give him a buttload of mana regeneration, as well as that status resistance, which is all very good. So he's relatively on the tanky side. Palos, he's got some gold on him, but I'm not quite sure what he's want to go on to look for next. And Tino is going to go for the shard, so which will help him with the Starbreaker. And then for the death, so like this Aghanim Scepter, it's an inspired choice by Tino, but stops him from doing what he really wants to do, which is doing damage. You know, you want to pick an offlane hero like Dawnbreak. You want to hit people, but the Aghanim Scepter is like he's forced into it. We'll see if he's going to be able to recover and actually put out some hurt later in the game.
Yeah,
I want smoke here.
He's only about 300 gold off, even less from getting that the shard out as well, which is going to be really nice. So he might be able to get it. You know, if he clears off this creep wave, he should be able to pick it up before the next fight breaks out. Well, speaking of, there is going to be smoke. Smokes do break. They get the Chronosphere. It's going to be on to Bob. Oh, that's going to be a lot of... Just look at how quickly he gets taken down. And was that Bob's BKB as well? It was. So, yes. Again, not great, Bob. As he gets taken down, no buyback, 60 seconds for the chase. They're going to be able to get a really nice jump onto the Broodmother. The Broodmother drag back. He's got his own BKB going now as well. The drag back from the hook. And 11, can he get himself out of this? He's going to try and use that Hex, but the Rolling Boulder comes in. And Shanks, he's going to group up. They get the kill onto the Brood. Dead for 73. Really nice timing as the Storm Spirit goes down. So there's going to be like a 20-25 second buffer there between the two heroes going back up. And Execration, they might be able to make something happen because that Chronosphere is down now as well.
Yeah, with Chronosphere down, you just killed probably the most important hero on the other side that would have been a factor. So now I wonder what Execration is gonna do here. Yeah, they don't have the Solar Guardian. That is something that you have to also be a little bit worried about. Solar Guardian has been absolutely key in the last few fights for them. And it looks like maybe they're just gonna try set up in the bottom lane. No Palos though. These 3, I don't know if they have enough damage to kill Faceless Void at least.
They're just going to go for the TP out. Yeah, it's one of those things, you're not sure where everyone else is on the board here for Lilgun, so even if you do see Sanctity, you can get jumped and killed off. So, yeah, they're just playing it safe, Execration, and that's what they've been doing all game, and it's been working for them. You know, they don't overextend, they don't take any major risks, and it's just, they find the pickoffs where they can. Speaking about pickoffs, Vincenzo.
The Vincenzo joining his sisters, you know. He's like, all right, time to be a ghost for a little bit. Went for the defensive items, the Force Staff, the Ghost Scepter, trying to get his own Yule Scepter. But oh, here we go. This might be a kill for Bob.
Yeah, Bob, this is going to be really nice. BKB comes out. Oh, there's going to be just a straight Ghost Scepter here. And Bob, he has to run. He's not got a lot of mana left now as well. He's got enough to TP if he wants to. But yeah, the regen rune is going to come out. So he just needs to keep on using the ball lightning, getting himself away, using that gap to maybe look for a TP. Mid lane. Sanctity just immediately jumps in. He gets a silence, but the rolling ball that was already there. So Shanks is going to be able to create a gap. And Palos was close by there as well. So Sanctity doesn't want to carry on chasing again. Not sure where everyone else is, so he doesn't want to overcommit. Oh, they might go from now as well. Oh, Shanks pops a BKB of his own. Do they want to try and fight this? Shanks going to be hooked back.
That's his first BKB of the game, by the way. First BKB usage. So, unfortunately, use it to escape, but hey, better than dying in that situation, I suppose.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's going for a Lotus Orb on the Earth Spirit, which is pretty good if you can get it on the Storm Spirit. Like then the Storm Spirit won't feel forced to always use the BKB to escape, which is the problem we talked about. By the way, he is going to go for the Lincoln Sphere that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It is going to be one of those ways where it's like, yeah, I gotta find a way to deal with this.
Yeah,
while third rush of the game is going to fall.
What's on it as well? It's a refresher. You give this to the Faceless Void, right? Or do you want to give it to the Scarroth? To Chronospheres?
Pretty sure Faceless Void, right? Yeah, I think that's definitely Faceless Void. It's like, I'll die, then I'll put it up there, then I'll have my second everything.
Yeah.
Sky the Mage is like, dude, I'm sorry, you're not going to get at 2 Mystic players one.
Oh, they get the jump onto the Broodmother here now as well. Do they have enough to take down 11? The dive comes in from Sanctity, though. He's trying to do what he can. The BKB is going to be active by pretty much everyone that has one. And it looks like Vincenzo is going to be the first to fall once again. Chase down, Shanks, Hook comes in, but it actually only latches onto a Spider. He's going to be able to get the Rolling Boulder into the river, though. Do they have enough to chase him down as he carries on going? It's just the one zombie chasing after him now as well. And Bob looking to get himself away with the ball line. And again, no TP for the next 20 seconds, so he just has to run. Clear off the creep wave while he can, save as much mana. But, I mean, he's got a decent amount of regen coming through. The Falcon's Blade, the Kara, and the Sanj. So he should be... Oh, Sanctity! He nearly hits him with the Resonant Pulse. Dissimulate comes out now as well to Hero. Shanks, does he want to come back in? He's going to be silenced now as well. He's going to be the dive forward with the step. And it looks like they might try and have done... It's a little bit of a bait here as they get the drive back onto the Scarlet Mage. Scarlet Mage is going to go down. Rolling Boulder away for Shanks now as well. Shanks with a lot of health. It does wear off now, the BKB. So they get the kill. In fact, they're going to go on to Tino. And just hanging around a little bit too long, though. And again, maybe a bit of saving your friend syndrome.
Losing Tino was the big one, though, in that fight. He doesn't have buyback. Shanks can buyback if he wants. Palos also, he pieced out. He was not in that with the team. He's like, all right, guys. I mean, I don't want to fight in this situation. He's got the Blink Dagger. It's recently, I believe it's recently bought, or was it kind of? He's pretty loaded up on this Pudge, but they needed him there. Like that's your carry. That's most of your net worth. That's the biggest source of damage that you have, and without him, it's kind of bold of Execration to force something there.
Nope. Storm Spirit just trying to do what he can with the ball lightning to keep the creeps away, keep this backdoor protection up. Oh, what? Vincenzo? Why? Why were you there? Chronosphere comes out. They're going to be able to catch out onto the Pudge, and the Pudge, one more. Is it going to be enough damage here now as well? Yeah, they're going to be able to get this kill, and there's going to be one more Chronosphere if he wants to go for the refresher. He just immediately pops that now as well, as he looks to put pressure onto the tower of Vincenzo. But yeah, the buyback comes out from Vincenzo. Nearly a dieback.
Well, they have buyback on Palos, and I imagine, are they thinking about doing, are they going to go for more? Oh, that's a good ultimate.
Solar Guardian comes in. It's going to be a quick one now as well. They're looking to get the pick off here onto the Faceless Void. That's going to be Aegis pop it again. He's already used that refresh, so there will be another Chronosphere to come out. Does he want to use it here? Does he want to just try and get himself away? There's going to be a really nice dismember. No, there's not. There's going to be a second Chronosphere that catches 3, and now they're going to be able to get Palos. Palos is dead, 110 seconds. And I think as well as Execration have done, this is going to be the game-ending fight here, I think, for Lilgun, as it looks like Bob with the BKB is trying to do the best that he can, but he's going to be forced back to base. No mana. Sanctity's just waiting. The Remnant gets dropped, and so will Bob. GG gets called, and that's going to be game number 1 going to Lilgun and Execration. Well, I don't think the Broodmother gets back in the second game. I think that's going to be an instant ban. What do you think there, Otomo?
The fact that you lose your tier 2 that early, as well as the outpost, and you just lose half your map. If each side has half, and the Broodmother takes your northwestern side. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna play all of you guys in the triangle. It was very unfortunate for Execration. despite the fact that they lost, I think they played it pretty well as they could have. You know, like they kept trying new stuff. They itemized as well as they could. The draft was pretty like it's not perfect for dealing with the broodmother, but a lot of the broodmother counters are bad right now, which we talked about. And maybe the only pick I was kind of feeling weird about was that they made the Death Prophet into a support and took Dawnbreaker. Like it worked out okay, but I kept thinking Winter Wyvern would have been better. Overall, Execration played pretty good. Lilgun just the draft is too strong, and they played it perfectly.
Yeah, so that is going to be game number 1, guys, but it is going to be a full day of Dota. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be back with the second game of Lilgun versus Execration right after the break, so stick around and we'll see you then.